بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والسماء ذات البروج واليوم الموعود وشاهد ومشهود قتل أصحاب الأخدود النار ذات الوقود إذ هم عليها قعود وهم على ما يفعلون بالمؤمنين شهود وما نقموا منهم إلا أن يؤمنوا بالله العزيز الحميد الذي له ملك السماوات والأرض والله على كل شيء شهيد إن الذين فتنوا المؤمنين والمؤمنات ثم لم يتوبوا فلهم عذاب جهنم ولهم عذاب الحريق إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات لهم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار ذلك الفوز الكبير إن بطش ربك لشديد إنه هو يبدئ وهو الغفور الودود بالعرش المجيد فعال لما يريد هل أتاك حديث الجنود فرعون وثمود بل الذين كفروا في تكذيب والله من ورائهم محيط بل هو قرآن مجيد في لوح محفوظ
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Qul huwallahu ahad. Allahus samad. Lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul kufuwan ahad. Allahumma shalli ala Muhammad. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ويل للمطففين الذين إذا اكتالوا على الناس يستوفون وإذا كالوهم أو وزنوهم يخسرون ألا يظن أولئك أنهم مبعوثون ليوم عظيم يوم يقوم الناس لرب العالمين كلا إن كتاب الفجار لفي سجين وما أدراك ما سجين كتاب مرقوم ويل يومئذ للمكذبين الذين يكذبون بيوم الدين وما يكذب به إلا كل معتد أثيم إذا تتلى عليه آياتنا قال أساطير الأولين كلا بل ران على قلوبهم ما كانوا يكسبون كلا إنهم عن ربهم يومئذ لمحجوبون ثم إنهم لصال الجحيم ثم يقال هذا الذي كنتم به تكذبون كلا إن كتاب الأبرار لفي عليين وما أدراك ما عليون كتاب مرقوم يشهده المقربون إن الأبرار لفي نعيم على الأرائك ينظرون تعرف في وجوههم نضرة النعيم يسقون من رحيق مختوم ختامه مسك وفي ذلك فليتنافس المتنافسون ومزاجه من تسنيم عينا يشرب بها المقربون إن الذين أجرموا كانوا من الذين آمنوا يضحكون وإذا مروا بهم يتغامزون وإذا انقلبوا إلى أهلهم انقلبوا فكهين وإذا رأوهم قالوا إن هؤلاء لضالون وما أرسلوا عليهم حافظين فاليوم الذين آمنوا من الكفار يضحكون على الأرائك ينظرون هل ثوب الكفار ما كانوا يفعلون صدق الله العلي العظيم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد يا علي يا عظيم يا غفور يا رحيم أنت الرب العظيم الذي ليس كمثله شيء وهو السميع البصير وهذا شهر عظمته وكرمته وشرفته وفضلته على الشهور وهو شهر الذي فرضت صيامه عليه وهو شهر رمضان الذي أنزلت فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان وجعلت فيه ليلة القدر وجعلتها خيرا من 1000 شهر فيا ذا المن ولا يمن عليك من علي بفكاك رقبتي من النار في من تمن عليه وأدخلني الجنة برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم رب شهر رمضان الذي أنزلت فيه القرآن وافترضت على عبادك فيه الصيام، صل على محمد وآل محمد. وارزقني حج بيتك الحرام في عامي هذا وفي كل عام، واغفر لي تلك الذنوب العظام، فإنه لا يغفرها غيرك يا رحمن يا علام. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم أدخل على أهل القبور السرور، اللهم اغني كل فقير، اللهم اشبع كل جائع، اللهم اكسو كل عريان، اللهم اقض دين كل مدين، اللهم فرج عن كل مكروب، اللهم رد كل غريب، اللهم فك كل أسير، اللهم أصلح كل فاسد من أمور المسلمين، اللهم اشف كل مريض، اللهم سد فقرنا بغناك، اللهم غير سوء حالنا بحسن حالك، اللهم اقض عنا الدين واغننا من الفقر، إنك على كل شيء قدير. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم إني أفتتح الثناء بحمدك، وأنت مسدد للصواب بمنك، ويقنت أنك أنت أرحم الراحمين في موضع العفو والرحمة، وأشد المعاقبين في موضع النكال والنقمة، وأعظم المتجبرين في موضع الكبرياء والعظمة. اللهم أذنت لي في دعائك ومسألتك، فاسمع يا سميع مدهتي، وأجب يا رحيم دعوتي، وأقل يا غفور عثرتي. فكم يا إلهي من كربة قد فرجتها، وهموم قد كشفتها، وعثرة قد أقلتها، ورحمة قد نشرتها، وحلقة بلاء قد فككتها. الحمد لله الذي لم يتخذ صاحبة ولا ولدا ولم يكن له شريك في الملك ولم يكن له ولي من الذل وكبره تكبيرا. الحمد لله بجميع محامده كلها على جميع نعمه كلها. الحمد لله الذي لا مضاد له في ملكه ولا منازع له في أمره. الحمد لله الذي لا شريك له في خلقه ولا شبيه له في عظمته. الحمد لله الفاشي في الخلق أمره وحمده الظاهر بالكرم مجده الباسط بالجود يداه الذي لا تنقص خزائنه ولا تزيده كثرة العطاء إلا جودا وكرما. إنه هو العزيز الوهاب. اللهم إني أسألك قليلا من كثير مع حاجة بي إليه عظيما وغناك عنه قديم وهو عندي كثير وهو عليك سهل يسير. اللهم إن عفوك عن ذنبي وتجاوزك عن خطيئتي وصفحك عن ظلمي وسترك على قبيح عملي وحلمك عن كثير جرمي عندما كان من خطئي وعمدي. أطمعني في أن أسألك ما لا أستوجبه منك الذي رزقتني من رحمتك وأريتني من قدرتك وعرفتني من إجابتك فصرت أدعوك آمنا وأسألك مستأنسا لا خائفا ولا وجلا مدلا عليك فيما قصدت فيه إليك فإن أبطأ عني أتبت بجهلي عليك ولعل الذي أبطأ عني هو خير لي لعلمك بعاقبة الأمور فلم أر مولا كريما أصبر على عبد لئيم منك علي يا رب. يا ربي إنك تدعوني فأولي عنك وتتحبب إلي فأتبغض إليك وتتودد إلي فلا أقبل منك كأن لي التطول عليك فلم يمنعك ذلك من الرحمة لي والإحسان إليك والتفضل علي بجودك وكرمك، فارحم عبدك الجاهل وجد عليه بفضل إحسانك، إنك جواد كريم. الحمد لله مالك الملك مجري الفلك مسخر الرياح فالق الإصباح ديان الدين رب العالمين. الحمد لله على حلمه بعد علمه، والحمد لله على عفوه بعد قدرته، والحمد لله على طول أناته في غضبه وهو قادر على ما يريد. الحمد لله خالق الخلق باسط الرزق فالق الإصباح ذي الجلال والإكرام والفضل والإنعام، الذي بعد فلا يرى وقرب فشهد النجوى تبارك وتعالى. الحمد لله الذي ليس له منازع يعادله ولا شبيه يشاكله ولا ظهير يعاضده، قهر بعزته العزة وتواضع لعظمته العظمى، فبلغ بقدرته ما يشاء. الحمد لله الذي يجيبني حين أناديه ويستر علي كل عورة وأنا عصيه، ويعظم النعمة علي فلا أجازي، فكم من موهبة هنيئة قد أعطاني، وعظيمة مخوفة قد كفاني، وبهجة مونقة قد أراني، فأثني عليه حامدا وأذكره مسبحا. الحمد لله الذي لا يهتك حجابه ولا يغلق بابه ولا يرد سائله ولا يخيب آمله. الحمد لله الذي يؤمن الخائفين وينجي الصالحين ويرفع المستضعفين ويضع المستكبرين ويهلك ملوكا ويستخلف آخرين. والحمد لله قاسم الجبارين مبين الظالمين مدرك الهاربين نكال الظالمين صريخ المستصرخين موضع حاجات الطالبين معتمد المؤمنين. الحمد لله الذي من خشيته ترعد السماء وسكانها وترجف الأرض وعمارها وتموج البحار ومن يسبح في غمراتها. الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله. الحمد لله الذي يخلق ولم يخلق ويرزق ولا يرزق ويطعم ولا يطعم ويميت الأحياء ويحيي الموتى وهو حي لا يموت بيده الخير وهو على كل شيء قدير. اللهم صل على محمد عبدك ورسولك وأمينك وصفيك وحبيبك وخيرتك من خلقك وحافظ سرك ومبلغ رسالاتك أفضلها وأحسنها وأجملها وأكملها وأزكاها وأنمى وأطيبا وأطهرا وأسنى وأكثر ما صليت وباركت وترحمت وتحننت وسلمت على أحد من عبادك وأنبيائك ورسلك وصفوتك وأهل الكرامة عليك من خلقك. اللهم وصل على علي أمير المؤمنين ووصي رسول رب العالمين عبدك ووليك وأخي رسولك وحجتك على خلقك وآيتك الكبرى والنبأ العظيم. وصل على الصديقة الطاهرة فاطمة سيدة النساء العالمين. وصل على سبط الرحمة وإمامي الهدى الحسن والحسين سيدي شباب أهل الجنة. وصل على أئمة المسلمين علي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي والخلف الهادي المهدي. حججك على عبادك وأمنائك في بلادك صلاة كثيرة دائمة. اللهم وصل على ولي أمرك القائم المؤمل والعضل المنتظر وحفه بملائكتك المقربين وأيده بروح القدس يا رب العالمين. اللهم اجعله الداعي إلى كتابك والقائم بدينك. استخلفه في الأرض كما استخلفت الذين من قبلك. مكن له دينه الذي ارتضيته له. ابدله من بعد خوفه أمنا يعبدك لا يشرك بك شيئا. اللهم أعزه وأعزز به وانصره وانتصر به وانصره نصرا عزيزا وافتح له فتحا يسيرا واجعل له من لدنك سلطانا نصيرا. اللهم أظهر به دينك وسنة نبيك حتى لا يستخفي بشيء من الحق مخافة أحد من الخلق. اللهم إنا نرغب إليك في دولة كريمة تعز بها الإسلام وأهله وتذل بها النفاق وأهله وتجعلنا فيها من الدعاة إلى طاعتك والقادة إلى سبيلك وترزقنا بها كرامة الدنيا والآخرة. اللهم ما عرفتنا من الحق فهملنا وما قصرنا عنه فبلغنا. اللهم المم به شعثنا واشعب به صدعنا وارتق به فتقنا وكثر به قلتنا وأعزز به ذلتنا واغن به عائلنا واقض به عن مغرمنا واجبر به فقرنا وسد به خلتنا ويسر به عسرنا وبيض به وجوهنا وفك به أسرنا وانجح به طلبتنا وانجز به مواعيدنا واستجب به دعوتنا واعطنا به سؤلنا وبلغنا به من الدنيا والآخرة آمالنا واعطنا به فوق رغبتنا يا خير المسؤولين وأوسع المعطين. اشف به صدورنا واذهب به غيظ قلوبنا واهدنا به لما اختلف فيه من الحق بإذنك. إنك تهدي من تشاء إلى صراط مستقيم وانصرنا به على عدوك وعدونا إله الحق. آمين. اللهم إنا نشكو إليك فقد نبينا صلواتك عليه وآله، وغيبة ولينا، وكثرة عدونا، وقلة عددنا، وشدة الفتن بنا، وتظاهر الزمان علينا. فصل على محمد وآله، وأعنا على ذلك بفتح منك تعجل، وبضر تكشف، ونصر تعز، وسلطان حق تظهر، ورحمة منك تجللنا، وعافية منك تلبسنا، برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم برحمتك في الصالحين فأدخلنا، وفي عليين فارفعنا، وبكأس من معين من عين سلسبيل فاسقنا، ومن الحور العين برحمتك فزوجنا، ومن الولدان المخلدين كأنهم لؤلؤ مكنون فأخذ منا، ومن ثمار الجنة والحوم الطير فأطعمنا، ومن ثياب السندس والحرير والاستبرق فألبسنا، وليلة القدر، وحج بيتك الحرام، وقتلا في سبيلك فوفق لنا، وصالح الدعاء والمسألة فاستجب لنا، وإذا جمعت الأولين والآخرين يوم القيامة فارحمنا، وبراءة من النار فاكتب لنا، وفي جهنم فلا تغلنا، وفي عذابك وهوانك فلا تبتلنا، ومن الزقوم والضريع فلا تطعمنا، ومع الشياطين فلا تجعلنا، وفي النار على وجوهنا فلا تكببنا، ومن ثياب النار وسرابيل القطران فلا تلبسنا، ومن كل سوء يا لا إله إلا أنت، بحق لا إله إلا أنت فنجنا. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم إني أسألك أن تجعل فيما تقضي وتقدر من الأمر المحتوم في الأمر الحكيم، من القضاء الذي لا يرد ولا يبدل، أن تكتبني من حجاج بيتك الحرام المبرور حجهم، المشكور سعيهم، المغفور ذنوبهم، المكفر عنهم سيئاتهم، وأن تجعل فيما تقضي وتقدر أن تطيل عمري في خير وعافية، وتوسع في رزقي، وتجعلني ممن تنتصر به لدينك، ولا تستبدل به غيري. أعوذ بجلال وجهك الكريم أن ينقضي عني شهر رمضان، أو يطلع الفجر من ليلة هذه ولك قبلي تبعة أو ذنب تعذبني عليه. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وبه نستعين، لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم، والحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين، خاتم النبيين، شفيع المذنبين، رحمة للعالمين، سيدنا ونبينا وحبيب قلوبنا والشفيع نفوسنا والطبيب ذنوبنا، أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد. والصلاة والسلام والتحية والإكرام على أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين المنتجبين المكرمين الخيرين الفاضلين السيدين الصادقين، سيما بقية الله في الأرضين، روحي وأرواح العالمين لتراب مقدمه الفدا، ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين من الأولين والآخرين إلى قيام يوم الدين. أما بعد، فقد قال الله الحكيم في كتابه المبين وقوله الحق، وهو أصدق القائلين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قد أفلح المؤمنون الذين هم في صلاتهم خاشعون والذين هم عن اللغو معرضون. صدق الله العلي العظيم وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين. صلوات. Mu'mineen, mu'minat, brothers and sisters in Islam and Iman, Salamun alaykum jami'an wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Tonight will be our final session, our series of the successful mu'min. We've been going through chapter 23 of the Holy Quran, Surah Al-Mu'minun, trying to figure out how we can become successful mu'mineen. We are on the third verse, right? وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ عَلَى اللَّغْوِ Mu'mineen have this quality that they keep away from lagh. They keep away from things which are a waste of time, which don't help them physically or spiritually grow. So last night we defined the term. We gave some general tips, 2 nights ago we defined it. And last night we gave some practical tips on how could somebody take something seemingly useless and make it useful, right? Like video games, chores around the house, work, school, whatever it is. We can take anything that we do if we put our minds to it ahead of time, right? That's why one of the recommendations is to say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim before we begin anything. If we do that and we're conscious of what we're doing, then we can try to make sure we connect mentally the action with Allah. Why am I doing this? I'm doing it for the sake of God. Well, if it's work, I'm doing it to earn a living so I can take care of my family because God has ordered me to do so. Why am I going to school? It's because I'm learning about reality, and this is God's reality, so I'm learning about Him. Why, if I do decide to watch TV or play games, could or should I do it? If you decide to, then you can say, well, I'm doing this because God has either given me leisure time and I have halal time to use, so thank you Allah for that. Or you can say, maybe I can reflect on my life, right? Maybe this movie's got some philosophical or moral, ethical questions, and I can think about my life like that, and it can help me become a better person. Now, there's another part of the discussion that we need to do tonight. In the ahadith, when it talks about the word lagh, over and over and over again, we see that the way that some of the ma'asumeen, alayhimus salam, have addressed this topic when they're asked, Ma huwa lagh? What is lagh? This lagh that's mentioned in this verse and many other verses of the Quran. When they're asked, what is lagh? They answer, lagh huwa al-ghina. Lagh is ghina. And ghina, normally we translate as music. So tonight, what we wanted to do for our last discussion is to talk about the concept of music. Now, it's obviously a big concept, but there's some specific points which I think are important for us to go through. Firstly, we want to talk about the idea of ghina itself, right? Ghina, music, singing, songs, all of that. We'll see if we can take a look at some of the narrations which talk about ghina, and also malahi, and any sort of topics or ideas related to music and singing and songs. Then we're going to briefly go through the fiqh rulings again. I mentioned it a few nights ago, but I'm just going to quickly summarize for those who either didn't understand or were confused last time because I said it quickly, or just as a reminder for all of us. We will also try to go through the common misconception that people respond when they hear that music is haram. They say, look, music, you're saying it's haram because it has an effect on our soul. Well, it doesn't affect me. So this haram stuff doesn't affect me, so it's okay for me to listen, right? I know they're talking about all these bad things, but it doesn't affect my soul, so I should be able to listen to it. So we want to specifically address that kind of question. Does music actually affect us or not? And I think that's what we will try to cover and wrap up tonight. And then we'll talk about the idea of sounds affecting us in general. So that'll be our final discussion tonight. If you can send a salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. So most of us, we understand before we begin, the other thing I wanted to mention was, of course, as we've had the previous nights, we'll have another and final quiz tonight. So in order that we don't take up too much time, the quiz is open right now. So you can sign up, you can log on and register, whatever you have to do. But the questions won't start until after the presentation or the discussion is done. So after that, then we'll start the quiz, right? Otherwise, like yesterday, we were waiting for, I don't know, like 15, 20, 30 minutes, right? Something like that, ballpark figure. So we don't want to do that. So if you can, register right now. So maybe we'll wait about 30 seconds total, and then we can go ahead and start the questions. Okay. Asantum, thank you for the reminder. So the first thing, we're saying that according to some of these narrations, lagh is defined as ghina. If that's the case, then ghina, meaning music, as we know to be, music then becomes something we shouldn't be doing. A successful mu'min needs to keep away and stay away from music. But we also know that music's haram too, right? Isn't that the ruling we hear all the time? I want to just mention some of the narrations that talk about ghina, just to show you what kind of understanding most of us have had, especially those of us who have read books on the subject. I'm almost guaranteeing that most people have obtained their understanding about music and singing and songs and musical instruments from one specific book. And that book is Ayatollah Dastaghaib Shirazi's book, Greater Sins, right? Gunahan Kabir. So may Allah bless his soul. So there's a whole bunch of traditions listed there. I'll mention just a few of them, right? So the first one is, again, this is where the Imam is asked about ghina, or he's asked about lagh, and then he responds that lagh is al-ghina wal-malahi. Right? So according to this narration attributed to the sixth Imam, he says lagh, which we meant wasting, so generally speaking, what is it to waste your time? And he says lagh, meaning wasting your time, is what? It means music, meaning ghina, singing, and the true worshippers of Allah stay away from these things. Okay. Let's look at another narration that's attributed to, and this one's also attributed to the sixth Imam, alayhi salam, where he says, استماع الغناء واللهو يبيت النفاق في القلب. So listening to ghina, right? Listening to music. And lah, things which are useless, right? A waste of time. They grow nifaq. They cultivate nifaq. They cultivate and grow hypocrisy in the heart. كما ينبت الماء الزرع. Just like water allows for crops and vegetables to grow. So the same way when we want to go plant something, we pour water on it so it can grow. The Imam here seems to be saying that music and doing things which are a waste of time causes hypocrisy to grow in our hearts. Right? This is pretty bad. Another narration from the first Imam, right? It says, ghina creates hypocrisy and leads to poverty, faqr. So it's going to make us, again, hypocrites, and it's also going to leave us poor, right? Faqr, which could mean poor in terms of our health. It could mean poor in terms of money, obviously. That's what we usually think about in terms of faqr, right? It could mean that we become dependent on things. Like there's a lot of different interpretations what we could understand from here. Point is, ghina, music, it's a terrible thing. We don't want to do that. Another narration. This one, it's unknown. Some say this is narrated and attributed to the Prophet. He says that you shall see that ghina will be so prevalent in the future that a time will come that no one will dissuade others, nor will they find themselves the need to do so. So they'll say. So the Prophet seems to be, giving a prediction about the future, that there's going to be this time where everybody's going to be listening to music, and everybody's going to think it's okay, and they're not going to try to stop one another, right? And they're not going to feel like I have to stop one another. I don't need to stop anybody from listening to music. And you shall see that ghina, music, would be openly played even in the two sanctuaries, right? The haramain, meaning in Mecca and Medina. Now, I don't need to tell you if this is going on or not. Those of you who know what that corrupt regime is doing over there, you know all the things that they're getting involved with over there. So you know what's happening, unfortunately. And there's so many other narrations. I don't want to go through too many, right? Some that talk about angels don't even enter a house where there's wine, drums, tambourines, or flutes. The prayers of this house are not accepted. They're deprived of barakat. Another one attributed to the 8th Imam says, listening to a musical instrument is one of the, ma'asiyatul kabir, gunahai kabir, right? Greater sins. You'll show up on the day of judgment with your face being darkened. I mean, I can go on and on, right? Divine wrath. These are harsh narrations. So if somebody wants to just go by what's over here, I mean, if you want to listen to the words of the Imams, then you'd stay away from music, wouldn't you? Well, here's the issue. Most of us, of course, we are reading this book and we're trying to benefit. And we see that Ayatollah Dastaghaib Shirazi, rahmatullah alayh, he writes there that, all ghina is haram, meaning all music is haram. Singing songs are haram, musical instruments haram, all of that. But here's the problem. Well, there's a few different problems. First is this. While this great, grand scholar, may Allah bless him, is writing all of these down in a book, and we're all learning and reading and benefiting from him, and he's giving us this information and saying that these things are haram, are we actually allowed to take rulings from him? Meaning, is he your marja? And I'm guessing for most of you, unless you're, I don't know how old you'd have to be to follow him, most of you would never be in his taqleed, and you're not in his taqleed. So why are we going by the rulings of somebody else? Most of you are probably in the taqleed of Ayatollah Sistani, or Ayatollah Khamenei, or Ayatollah Nasir Makaram Shirazi, or the others. Those who are probably living, or maybe even Ayatollah Khawi or Imam Khomeini, right? I don't think any of you are in the taqleed of Ayatollah Dastaghaib Shirazi. So if that's the case, how is it that people are grabbing fatwas from his book and saying, well, in this book, Greater Sins, it says you can't do this. Okay, but he's not my marja, and he's not yours. Now, you can benefit from his works, but that's not the type of benefit you can take. Unless you perform taqleed to him, then you can't just grab fatwas from him. That's not how these books work. And that's also why sometimes, although reading is great, sometimes we need to make sure we know what kind of information we should be taking from a certain book or a certain author. And this can happen from, for a lot of different things. Sometimes it's in this fashion, right, where we jump into a book and we read it and we realize that there's fatwas being given, but it's not from our marja, right? Sometimes the books we're reading, they're giving fatwas from a scholar that lived, hundreds of years ago. You can't follow their fatwas unless you're right? The marja that you follow. Other books sometimes are all these books of narrations and hadith that have been translated. Now, sometimes you want to read them and benefit from them and, hear the words of the Imam, right? And the Ma'sumin. Of course, that's great. The problem is this. It's possible that your marja, if they took a look at those narrations, they'd say these are inauthentic. You can't rely on them. And what happens is that now people, when they go on social media, they love to share these things. They like to just copy and paste, make a nice little poster, right? And put it up on Instagram or Facebook or whatever. And especially in the month of Ramadan, that can be very problematic. You're not able to authenticate it. You don't know if your marja would authenticate a narration like this. You could be spreading 100% misinformation. And it's possible that your fast will be broken because you are spreading misinformation about Allah and the Ahlul Bayt, which according to some will break your fast. We have to be very, very careful that we're not just spreading information like this. And especially in the past few weeks and months, people have been spreading information about benefits, what keeps away viruses, this will solve corona. We have to, especially with the ones that talk about medical information, we have to be extra cautious. According to most of our maraji, the majority of those narrations which talk about medical information are all false and inauthentic and made up. So we need to make sure that we leave this kind of information, leave it in the hands of the scholars, let them deal with it. If you want to, share something, then why don't you, ask an authority first, ask a scholar and say, look, I want to share this, should I do it or not? Or don't bother sharing it at all, right? Just share a video or a clip of a scholar saying something about that narration. You don't have to, there's no need for us to go and grab stuff from these books and then share it like that. There's better ways for us to benefit. Please recite a salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Now that's the first point, is that he's giving fatwas, he's not our marja. Second problem, he has a very specific definition of ghina. He is translating, or the translator is translating, al-ghina as music. Does your marja, for example, Ayatul Sistani, Ayatul Khamenei, or whoever, do you know that not all the maraji agree on the definition of ghina? Some of the previous maraji in the past have defined al-ghina as all music, meaning all different types of sounds. And therefore, they've made all music haram. But there's pretty much no contemporary marja who has that definition and who has that fatwa, as far as my limited research has shown. Most contemporary maraji, their definitions are different. They don't say ghina is all different types of sounds. They don't say it's all different types of music. According to, for example, Ayatollah Sistani and many others who follow in that same line, they say that al-ghina does not mean music. It doesn't even mean specific kinds of music. Ghina more appropriately means specific types of singing. Ghina, according to Ayatollah Sistani and this one school of thought, ghina is what? It's a very specific style of singing that is meant, right? It's intended for a specific type of gathering. What kind of gathering? What kind of event? What kind of session? The kind of session which is primarily dedicated for haram stuff to take place. And I know people are like, well, what does that mean? What's a haram gathering? Now, I mean, look, I understand that you want to learn more, but look, just think about it for a few seconds. You tell me, you go to a bar, you go to a club, a nightclub, are they places which it's primarily designed to do stuff that's haram? I don't have to tell you yes or no. It should be obvious to you. Is there specific kinds of music which is designed for those kind of places? If the answer is yes, then that's the kind of music, or that's the kind that's going to. So let's reiterate. Al-ghina does not mean music. Ghina means according to Ayatollah Sistani again, and others, means a specific type of singing where it's appropriate and it's designed to be used in a gathering, a session, or an event where the primary purpose is to do haram stuff. That's what it's meant for. So based on that, that's what Ayatollah Sistani says, that kind of ghina, that kind of singing, and those kind of songs, therefore become haram. That kind of music, therefore, becomes haram by association, right? So his issue, Ayatollah Sistani's issue, is what? It's this idea of a session being primarily designed for haram. Now somebody might say, okay, well, I'm not going to listen to it at the club. I'm not going to listen to that kind of music at a bar. I'll take that, haram, I'll take it outside and I'll listen to it right on the way to work. I'll listen to it in the car. I'll listen to it on the subway. I'll listen to it at the house. So the haram stuff's not happening anymore. Well, that's not his definition. What for Ayatollah Sistani, he says it doesn't matter where you are listening to it. If the singing style, if the songs, if the music itself is meant and designed for those types of haram places and haram gatherings, you can't listen to it no matter where you are. That is according to his fatwa. Other marajid differ; they don't have that. I'm just going to go with I'm just explaining Ayatollah Sistani's because I know most community members are in his taqlid. If anybody else is interested, you can again go to your marja's website, or you can also email me, and then we can discuss it more in detail, inshallah. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Okay. Now, some people still might come back and say, look, Hasan, that haram song or haram music, I get it, right? In the club or in the bar, whatever, it's bad. But you know what? I get it. I know the reason too. The reason that it's going to lead to hypocrisy or it's going to cause all these bad things is because sometimes when people listen to these haram lyrics or this haram music, it makes them do haram stuff. I get that. Fine. But you know what? Alhamdulillah, Allah has protected me, He's blessed me, and I don't fall into these sins. So I can listen to music which has, it uses profanity. I can listen to stuff which has inappropriate content. Or I can listen to, even if the content's not haram, just the music itself is haram, I can listen to it and it doesn't make me do anything haram, right? I'm not going to go out and dance with anybody. I'm not going to go on dates. I'm not going to do any of these things. I'm fine, right? It's just me sitting at home on my computer listening to it. So what's the harm in that, right? I'm not feeling any sort of harm and I'm not doing anything haram. So it should be okay, right? That's what we want to answer now. Is this kind of line of thinking that a person believes they're protected, is that enough now to say that, now I'm protected, I can still listen to haram music? So let's answer this. Now, in order to talk about this, we need to speak a little bit about the science, right, behind the idea of sounds. Now, of course, the disclaimer, I'm not a neurologist, I'm not a doctor, obviously. So whatever I say, it's based on limited research. I could get it wrong, and if I do, feel free to put it in Slido, right? Correct me so that we can, we make sure we don't spread false information. I've tried to look at this research multiple times, and I've actually presented it to doctors as well, and they've certified it. But again, there's always differences of opinion, and I have no problem with people critiquing and correcting me. There's no problem with that. That would obviously mean that you have to communicate with me too, right? If you don't communicate with me and if you have an issue, it's going to be tough for me to improve myself, right? Okay. So, what is sound? Sound. Sound is what? It's vibrations in the air, right? These vibrations, they come in the air, these waves, they come to our ears. These vibrations then, when they hit our ears, these waves hit our ears, they come to our eardrum. Our eardrum grabs the information and then it transforms them, it converts them. It converts and translates them into electrical impulses. So then it takes these electrical signals and impulses and it sends them through nerves up to our brain. And then our brain basically gets this idea of it hears something or it sounds like something, and then we start to interpret it, for example, right? That's a gross oversimplification of the idea, but the idea is this. Sound's coming, it hits us, and then it turns into electrical signals, which hits our brain, the physical, empirical idea of that. Now, every single sound has various different features, right? So, sounds have pitch, they have different timbres, right? Timbre meaning T-I-M-B-R-E. It's one of those words which is spelled one way, but it's pronounced differently. They have different frequencies, obviously, because of the fact that they're waves, right? You can have like these short waves, you can have like weird long waves. The breaks in between each jump could be short, could be long, right? So the frequencies can be different. Volume, obviously, keys, chords. There's many, many different things. Velocity. There's a lot of different factors involved in sounds. Depending on the combination of the variation of those factors, those sounds will be converted by our eardrums into electrical signals. It'll be converted differently, right? Our brain will understand it differently, and it'll affect our brain differently. It can have, for example, let me give some examples here. Think about a lullaby, or nursery rhymes, or white noise, or ocean sounds, right? Those are typically at a very specific kind of frequency or a very specific key, right? You know those musical keys, C, B, A, the sharp, major, minor, all that stuff. Normally, lullabies and all these soft types of sounds are in one specific key, or they follow specific chords. So that's why when it hits us, it calms us down, right? It puts us in a sleepy mood. And that's why we try to rock, our babies to sleep, right? Using a lullaby, because the sound helps them calm their nervous system down. On the other hand, you have a different set of keys and chords. And these are normally ones which are used in like heavy metal, or the kind of music that they play at, let's say, a sports event, right? To get people hyped up, car alarms, phone alarms. These types of sounds are not meant to obviously calm us down. It's meant to get our attention, right? To give us this kind of adrenaline rush, to give us energy. So you have these two types of this. And there's other examples, right? We know Azadari, that the nohas, latmiyat that we listen to, they're also in a very specific pitch, range, and frequency. When we hear them, it can cause us sometimes to feel that sense of sadness, right? Sometimes in movies, you hear that specific kind of violin or cello sound being played. That that sound can help bring somebody into a state of mind of sadness or depression. And we have that same idea in terms of nohas as well. That's why you'll see in certain cultures it'll differ. We might hear a noha from another culture and say, this doesn't sound like sad recitation or music. It sounds like it's like like happy stuff. Like it sounds weird to me. Like their noha sounds like happy birthday. Like this is really weird. But if that other culture hears our stuff, they'll say your stuff sounds strange. So sometimes even there's cultural differences, and we're raised to understand sounds differently. Okay, I know we don't have time. And I don't want to go too much into the science, but now this part is more the important part. Our nervous system, specifically something called the ANS, the autonomic nervous system, it's made up of two different types, right? Two different parts. One is your SNS, your sympathetic nervous system, and then your ANS. Your PNS, your parasympathetic nervous system. Or whatever. These terms are not important. The point is this. You have one, which is your sympathetic. This deals with your emergency survival mode, right? Your fight or flight, increases your heart rate, gets your adrenaline, your blood pumping, your more air and oxygen so you can breathe better. This is when when something happens, and let's say a fire alarm goes off, you're not supposed to be put to sleep. You're supposed to be woken up, right? Be alert so you can run and get yourself out of the fire. That's the whole point of that kind of sound. On the other side of our system, we have the parasympathetic, which is meant to help put us to rest, to decrease our breathing, decrease our heart rate so we can go to sleep. Now, the ideal human body is what is in a state of equilibrium. It's homeostasis. We don't want too much sympathetic, nor do we want too much parasympathetic. We don't want to be passing out all the time. We also don't want our adrenaline to be rushed all the time, right? Now, since this is what the body wants, we need to understand how do sounds, or specifically certain types of music, affect that nervous system. What they show is that when our body is not in homeostasis, if it's too much into one, specifically if it's into the sympathetic one, the one that's fight or flight, adrenaline, higher breathing, and all that stuff, this can lead to what? Hypotension, headaches, insomnia, anger, rage, diabetes, Parkinson's, headaches, trouble breathing and swallowing, memory loss, mental disorders, mania, depression, random laughter, nonsensical speech. Basically, to kind of paraphrase this or to make this more concise, some scientific studies, medical studies, indicate that certain types of more music, which activates our sympathetic nervous system, can basically turn you into the Joker, right? You're going to go insane. Now, you might not realize that, and you might say, it's not affecting me, but do you have a say in how your nervous system reacts to things? No, not at all. It's as if somebody is saying that, you know what, I drink poison, but it doesn't affect me. What do you mean it doesn't affect you? Poison affects your body. You have no say in the matter. Your willpower has no effect there. You don't have a say in what's going on. So when someone says that I don't listen to haram stuff because it doesn't affect me, well, how do you know it doesn't affect you? Medically speaking, you don't have a say in how your eardrums will receive those sounds, those frequencies and waves, and how they're going to affect your sympathetic nervous system. So it could have effects. You could actually become a more angry person, a more stressed out, depressed person because of listening to this kind of music, and you have no idea. And this is all physical. What about the spiritual realm? Metaphysical stuff, immaterial. Do you think you know how your soul is being affected? If you think you do know how your soul is being affected, then unfortunately, there's a whole other disease that you're being afflicted by, and which is what? It's being arrogant now. If you think you're in charge of what is good and bad and what can affect you and doesn't affect you, our scholars of akhlaq say that now arrogance has come into your heart. We should never say that, yes, this kind of disease doesn't affect me. You have no idea. The minute that arrogance comes, that's when they say shaitan can come in there and start to mess all of us up. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Okay. So I think we've got about 7 minutes left before Maghrib or so. Just one last point, and then we can move on to the quiz, and then we can do Q&A if we have time. Okay. So the last point is this. We know, of course, that certain sounds have negative effects, right, based on what was said over here. But what about the other side? Why is it that we hear in our narrations, listen to the Quran, listen to du'as, listen to ziyarat? What do we have in terms of positive sounds? Right? This is very clear to us. We know that there's stuff that's positive. Think about dua kumail, right? Towards the end. وَذِكْرُهُ الشِّفَاء. The dhikr of Allah is shifa. It can actually heal us, right? It can actually help us. And there's this famous story that people tell that there is a doctor and a bunch of community members invited to somebody's house for a dinner. And so the local sheikh was there. This famous doctor who wasn't really practicing, didn't really care about religion. He's the type that anytime religion would be discussed, he would always make these kind of underhand comments or take these little jabs, just making fun of Allah, making fun of God, making fun of Islam. I'm sure we all know those types, right? It's because they have their own lack of self-esteem, they have their own doubts. Unfortunately, they're unwilling to research, so the best thing they can do is start making fun of other people's belief system. Probably not the most mature thing to do, but right? May Allah help them. Anyway, so at the dinner party, the host, he says, there's a person in the community who's not really doing well. We want to pray for his quick recovery. And so he asked the Shaykh, he's like, Shaykh, can you lead us in dua and prayer for the person? So he's like, okay. So they did Amma Yujib 5 times. He recited a short prayer, and they sent a salawat. Then the medical doctor's just laughing, right? He's like, give me a break, man. And the Shaykh's like, what's wrong? And the host is like, oh my God, don't start, please. And the Shaykh's like, no, it's okay. What's the problem? We just recited the dua, right? Just recited Quran. What's the big deal? He's like, you know what? This doctor is like, why do you think that you're the one and your God is the one who's going to heal this person? Your words, you reciting some random Arabic stuff is going to fix this person, right? This person's, suffering from a major disease. I went and spent my whole life studying in medical school. I'm, struggling from morning till evening researching. I'm in the, in the operating room. I'm doing all this stuff. I'm the one. Us doctors, we're the ones who are healing. Not this fake sky god that you're talking about. Not these random empty words that you're saying. No, these words have no effect whatsoever. I wish you guys would, stop with these fairy tales and, really understand that science is the one that takes care of everything. So the Shaykh starts laughing and he's like, it's too bad for your parents. He's like, Doctor's like, what do you mean? He said, it's obviously your parents must have been completely, terrible, dumb, stupid individuals, right? Horrible people. That's why you turned out to be so terrible yourself, right? Your mom and dad were horrible people. That's why you're so horrible too. And now, when this doctor hears how the Shaykh is attacking his parents and himself like this, then he starts, getting angry. He gets up out of his seat and screams, who do you think you are talking about my parents like this? You don't know me. You don't know my parents, etc., etc. He's screaming and screaming. So the Shaykh starts laughing again. He's like, what are you doing? Why are you laughing at me? And he's like, listen, calm down. I was just joking and I'm trying to make a point. I was like, what kind of point are you making? I said, look, all I said were some words. That's all I did, right? I just said some negative words about your parents and about you. Now look at you. Blood rush to your face, right? You're red in the face completely. Your heart rate is increased. You're clenching your fists. I've completely affected your body just by saying a few words. Now you're telling me that it's clear negative words have affected you in a negative way. Why are you so sure that positive words can't affect somebody positively, right? So we need to keep these things in mind too. We may not see the effects, but even now, sometimes in medical literature, they are showing that there are positive effects to these things. So let's not undercut and oversimplify the effect that these types of spiritual beneficial things like the Quran, dua, and ziyarat have. Okay, now that'll be enough for tonight. And again, tomorrow night now, Sheikh Jafar Ladak will be joining you. Inshallah, hopefully you all benefit from him. If there's been anything here that's been done in these past, 3 nights and then the previous week, forgive me. If I offended anybody in any way, I apologize. It wasn't my intention. I would appreciate if you keep an open channel with me. If you have any grievances, take it up with me. Let me know so we can improve, or at least I can explain it to you. So let's go through the quiz, inshallah. And I don't think we'll have time for Q&A, but let's see, inshallah. Okay. I think maybe we should just get started right now instead of waiting 30 seconds. Okay. Let's see. Any funny names today? No, I didn't see anything. Okay, let's go. Bismillah. What does ghina mean, right? Does it mean music? Does it mean music? Uh-oh. I think the second one's supposed to be songs. Yeah, so music, songs, a specific style of singing that's designed for events where haram stuff happens, or all of the above. So, music, songs, choice C, or all of the above. I don't know why we'll choose music. It's okay. So, the correct answer, it's a specific style of singing that's designed for events where haram stuff happens. This is the definition according to Ayatollah Sistani, right? Not all music and not all songs. Very good. The following types of music are haram. Number 1, or A, rap and hip-hop. B, classical. both A and B, or D, none of the above. Now, it's clear, most of rap and hip hop that's out there, it's got terrible lyrics. Now, classical music, we said, there's also people who are drinking and dancing and stuff when they hear this stuff. So, could be both of them, right? Astaghfirullah. The answer is none of the above. Why? Because rap and hip hop, we have to go and figure out whether it's part of the ruling or not. Not all in rap or hip hop will have that, right? It's up for every person who's a muqallid. They have to do the research and figure out, what does the urf say? Is it suitable for haram or not? You and I can't say that. So it's actually none of the above. That every specific muqallid has to go and do their research according to urf. Okay. According to Ayatul Sistani, what makes certain types of music haram? Now, this should be obvious based on what we've said so far. If they're normally used in gatherings that are intended primarily for sinning, A. If the singers are the type that are not religious and do not care about God, B. Both A and B, or D. Anything that includes drums, flutes, and pianos. Or are you? Sorry, I didn't phrase that properly, right? So we know that, we said what? In the narrations, the ma'sumin, oh, I think we're done because it's Maghrib time. Oh, so sorry, I don't know who won, but good luck. We'll see you inshallah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله اللهم صل على محمد وآل. أشهد أن أمير المؤمنين عليا ولي الله صلوات الله وسلامه عليه. أشهد أن أمير المؤمنين عليا حجة الله صلوات الله وسلامه عليه. هيا على السلام هيا على السلام هيا على الفلاح هيا على الفلاح هيا على خير العمل هيا على خير العمل. الله أكبر الله